I was really looking forward to watching Fashion Passion. This is the first segment of the first episode of the first season of the Cramp Twins, and I'm currently watching the first episode of every TV show that I grew up with to see how nostalgic they are. And I remember watching a lot of the Cramp Twins. I think it was on CBBC, but I don't have that many specific memories of certain stories or even characters beyond Lucien and Wayne. So I was keen to check this out, and I have to say it was pretty interesting, very, very nostalgic for me. And there won't be any spoilers as I discuss what happens in this, but I will say that it took an interesting direction that I perhaps wasn't expecting. I don't know if I ultimately love where the episode went, but I won't spoil it in any real detail. If you're unaware of what the show is about, it's about two brothers, Wayne and Lucien, who are basically polar opposites of each other. And I love the characters. Lucien was always my favourite. Lucien is voiced by Kath Soucie, and Wayne is voiced by Tom Kenny. And I love the animation design of the characters. I love the animation for the show as a whole. Really brilliant animation style. All of this I could remember very well, but I didn't really remember any narratives. And this one is pretty interesting. It takes place on school picture day, and Wayne doesn't want to get up in the morning. He just rushes getting dressed, and he arrives at school wearing a very unique outfit. And I won't say exactly what happens with this. There is a little bit more spoiler detail on IMDb, but I won't go into any spoiler detail. I will just say that things don't go according to anybody's expectations, and it's certainly an interesting experience for Wayne. And I'll say no more than that. The whole episode is about 10 minutes, so I really don't want to give away too much about this. But it certainly, in my opinion, was actually quite unpredictable. I didn't expect it to go the way it did. And as I said, I wasn't necessarily in love with ultimately where it went, but I didn't hate it either. And I'd say I enjoyed it. It definitely was very nostalgic. That's absolutely what I was looking for the most, and the nostalgia was just so beautiful. It didn't trigger any memories of any other episodes, which I kind of hoped it would, but it definitely gave me that rush of nostalgia. With the character designs and the voice acting, absolutely all of that came back to me. Do I recommend it? I guess so. I'd love to know what you think of it if you're watching it now for the first time as an adult. Obviously, for me, very different experience because it's very nostalgic. I doubt I'd enjoy it as much if I was watching it now for the first time. But this is, of course, based on this one segment because I can't remember anything else. Will I watch any more? Maybe at some point. Not in a rush to do so just now, but I am keen to see what other kind of narratives they explore. I do actually remember one tiny bit, and I feel like it's a very vague memory, but it involves them in the swamp. And that's basically the extent of my memory. I don't really know. I feel like there were multiple episodes in a swamp, and I don't really know what I'm talking about, but that is the tiniest memory that I have. Maybe I should keep watching until I find that episode and see what I'm actually talking about. Maybe one day. But for now, I'm certainly very happy with Fashion Passion. Definitely nostalgic in some ways, even though I didn't remember the episode as a whole. And if you grew up with the show and you haven't seen it in a while, I'd say it's worth revisiting. It was definitely a fun experience.